Chapter 2. The Distance Between Us. 1. It was May, one of those days where the sun hits everything clean and bright. I saw her for the first time on Domstrasse. The person I'd only seen in photos was standing right in front of me. She was smaller than I expected, light blonde hair catching the sunlight. It was awkward, obviously. "Hi, Annette. Nice to meet you." "Thanks. Nice to meet you too, Alex." That was how it started. Nothing more, nothing less. My heart didn't race. There was no wave of fate crashing in. Just the ordinary awkwardness of meeting a stranger for the first time. That was all. "Want to grab a coffee?" "Sure." We went into a cafe and sat side by side. I ordered a cappuccino. She ordered the same. Conversation started slow. "This is my first time in this city. What's it known for?" "Honestly, I don't really know either." "What?" "After work, it's home, gym, sleep. That's pretty much my whole day." "You came to Germany and never even played tourist? Seriously?" "Yeah, never really felt like going anywhere. I think the famous stuff is castles and wine? And kebabs? Something like that." She laughed, like she couldn't believe me, but I didn't mind that laugh. After coffee, we bought ice cream and walked through the Altstadt. Würzburg in May was warm, tourists everywhere. We moved through them slowly. The conversation was still awkward, but it was loosening, little by little. She'd spent over 40 years in the north of Germany, a generation that lived through the Iron Curtain and reunification. I was born in Korea, a generation that survived the chaos of democratization. On paper, we had nothing in common, but somehow we walked at the same pace. That's almost all I remember from that day. I should probably get going. "Yeah, thanks for coming today." "Let's do this again." "Okay." That was it. That was how we said goodbye. I had no idea that "let's do this again" would turn into 3 months of waiting. After that, we started texting. At first it was just checking in. Dry, surface-level stuff. "How was your day?" "Same as always. You?" "Same." Some days that was it, but it happened every day. Every single day. Sometimes we called. She usually called around 8 in the evening. Most nights, I'd just gotten back from the gym. Picking up the phone before the sweat had dried became routine. "What'd you do today?" "Worked out, showered, and now I'm talking to you." "That's it? Every day?" "Yeah." "Doesn't it get boring?" "I don't even know if it's boring or not. It's just how I live." She sighed sometimes. I could hear it through the phone. I never knew exactly what those sighs meant. Exhaustion, maybe. Frustration. Or something else entirely. June passed. Then July. The texts got a little longer. What started as quick check-ins turned into real conversations, things that happened during the day. She talked about work, about her kids. Sometimes she'd bring up something from her childhood with no context at all. I mostly listened. Talking about myself still didn't come easy. Then one day, the messages from my side slowed down. Work got busy, that was part of it. But if I'm honest, it wasn't the whole reason. Something about getting closer scared me. I didn't even recognize the feeling for what it was. I just stopped checking my phone. A few days later, a text from her. "Why haven't you been in touch? Didn't you want to see me?" I held my phone for a long time after reading that. I don't know. I'm not sure what exactly I'm feeling. After I sent it, I didn't know why I'd been that honest. Normally, I would have just said, "I've been busy." But with her, I didn't want to write that. Chapter 2. The Distance Between Us. Last week of August, she called. "I walked up and down that street all day yesterday, hoping I might run into you by chance. Are you free today?" "I'm at a gym in another city right now. Can you come here?" "Okay, I think I can be there in 35 minutes. 35 minutes. She made it in exactly 35 minutes, pulled up in front of the gym, and got out. 3 months since I'd seen her. Nothing had changed. Light blonde hair, glasses, those gray eyes. But something was different. I couldn't explain what. "Have you been?" "Same as always. You? How's the company you interviewed with?" "It seems like a good fit, good for my career, and I like the boss. But today I didn't come for that. I just wanted to talk. Really talk." We left the gym and sat on a park bench, the kind of night where you could actually see the stars, one of those last warm August evenings. She spoke first. "There's something I want to tell you." "Okay." "When I had my first boyfriend, we both believed we'd marry each other." Her voice dropped a little. "One day, he was riding his motorcycle and got into an accident. He died." I didn't say anything. I looked at her. She was staring straight ahead. "The town I grew up in was tiny, almost a village. Everyone knew us. I cried so much back then. For a while, I didn't even speak. I just survived through it somehow." A silence settled between us. "That feeling never fully went away. It doesn't just disappear. But at some point, after getting to know you, after talking with you, his memory started to fade." I'm not sure what to say. Having someone come close to me like this, it's not something I'm used to. And expressing how I feel is something I'm genuinely terrible at. But the one thing I do know is that talking with you, even those short conversations, shook something loose in me. "That makes sense. I told you back in June, remember? That I was visiting Stassfurt. That's where I grew up. It's also where my first boyfriend was from. Our houses were close. Every year I go back, I'd see his parents." I just listened. Her hands were on her knees, fingers lacing and unlacing. This time I saw them again, and they told me, I don't need to keep coming anymore. That every time they see me, they're living in the past. I didn't know what to say to her. Then a phrase I'd heard from a Buddhist teaching a long time ago came to mind. He must have been a really good person. He was. The way I see it, when someone is remembered like that, it means who they were at their core was something beautiful, even if their life was short. She looked at me. Her eyes were wet, but she didn't cry. That was who she was, the kind of person who held it together even at the edge. "Thank you for saying that." Silence again. This time, it was my turn. "There's something I need to tell you too." "Okay." "You already know this, but I'm not wired right. Not anymore." Saying it out loud felt strangely light. It was the first time I'd ever said it to someone this directly. On the surface, I seem fine right now, but it can come back any time. Blackouts, nightmares, insomnia. I went through therapy for a while. And now? Now I'm stable. I took medication, did behavioral therapy, but I'm not cured. It's all just buried somewhere behind the memories. I don't know what might trigger it, but for now, I'm okay. Thank you for telling me that, Alex. Why? Because I know that's not easy to bring up. That you told me, that means something to me. I don't know. Saying something like this to someone has never been easy for me. But talking to you, some part of me feels at ease. 14 years. That's how long it had been since I'd told anyone something like this. And instead of feeling like something cracked open, it felt like something clicked into place, not breaking apart, finding where it was supposed to go. We sat on that bench well past midnight. We talked about a lot of things. I don't remember all of it, but the air that night, her voice, the stars, those I remember. She told me her hotel room number as she left. I didn't go. I didn't have the courage. More than that, I didn't want something casual. I hadn't even sorted out what I was feeling. Why didn't I go? I didn't know then. I figured it out later. It wasn't that I chose not to go. I couldn't. I didn't want to be something light in front of this person. The next morning, we had breakfast together for the first time. Hotel buffet. Nothing special. bread, cheese, coffee. But watching her sit across from me, drinking her coffee, something quiet clicked inside me. Oh, having a morning like this with her, that's part of what happiness is for me. The moment that thought surfaced, it scared me. I wasn't used to feeling this. 5 years of eating alone, sleeping alone, working out alone. For someone like me, sitting across from another person over breakfast, that was more than I was ready for. Chapter 2. The Distance Between Us. 3. A few days later, I suggested it. Want to go to Frankfurt? Out of nowhere? Just felt like it. There wasn't any real reason. I just wanted to go somewhere with her. Frankfurt happened to be it. She drove. I sat in the passenger seat, watched the scenery blur past on the Autobahn. Rain started coming down. The wipers kept a steady rhythm. A German song came on the radio. She sang along. I couldn't understand the words, but I liked her voice. We got to Frankfurt and ducked into a cafe. Had coffee. Rain tapping against the window. We didn't have any deep conversation. Just sat there, drinking coffee. And that was enough. On the way back, we stopped by a hotel. She was backing into a parking spot and hit a pillar. A dull thud, and we both froze. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. It's nothing. The car? Car's fine too. Just a scrape. She said it like it was nothing, but I jumped. And the thing is, the car wasn't what I was thinking about. I was thinking about whether she was hurt. Only that. Why am I this worried? Even then, I couldn't name what I was feeling. We got back in the car and headed for Oelde. By the time we arrived, it was deep into the night. I checked into a hotel. She went home to pick up some paperwork she needed for work the next day. I already knew. She'd told me from the start. She was in the middle of a divorce, but still living in the same house as her husband. I knew. I knew none of this was simple. She came to the hotel and asked me, "Pizza here yet?" "Should be here soon." I'm starving. Me too. We sat side by side on the sofa, waiting for the pizza. It was quiet. The TV wasn't even on. That's when it happened. I stood up to close the curtains, and then the most ungodly sound from me. Time stopped, or at least I wanted it to. She looked at me. I looked at her. A beat of silence. Then she lost it, laughing. I laughed too. I couldn't help it. Was that a fart just now? Sorry. Don't you sorry me. That wasn't a fart. That was a detonation. Please forget it. Absolutely not. I'm taking this one to the grave. She laughed for a long time, until her eyes watered. I couldn't say a word, my face burning. Of all the moments, why now? But the strange thing was, underneath the embarrassment, what remained was comfort. I'd fallen apart this completely in front of her, and she just laughed. No judgment, just laughter. That night, we ate pizza, drank more coffee, and that was how our first night in Oelde began. I still didn't understand it then, what this person was becoming to me. I just knew I didn't want the time to end. I wanted to stay near her, even a little longer. I still couldn't name it, but one thing I knew for certain. The distance I'd felt on Domstrasse back in May, it had gotten smaller, unmistakably.